Does crafting a cold call script feel like a hit or miss, even after all these years in the game? You're not alone. Connecting with potential clients over a cold call is a major challenge that can deeply impact your sales goals, and it's a common struggle. The crux of the issue? A one-size-fits-all approach to scripting these calls is becoming increasingly ineffective. In your role, you're likely well aware of how critical it is to not only reach out to potential clients, but to engage them in a way that opens the door to a business relationship. The problem with generic scripts is that they lack that all-important personal touch needed to spark a genuine dialogue with decision makers, particularly in companies that employ between 20 to 100 individuals, a segment large enough to have diverse needs, yet small enough for personalization to make a significant impact. Utilizing client personas in the development of your call scripts could be the game changer you're looking for. By tailoring your approach to resonate with the unique decision makers within this target group, you stand a much better chance at not only capturing their attention, but also at building the rapport necessary for effective sales conversions. Yet, many sales directors overlook this powerful strategy and continue to pump out generic, catch-all scripts. This approach may save time in development, but at what cost? The risks include low engagement rates, poor conversion, and potentially wasted resources when your sales team spends hours on calls that fail to deliver. What's clear is this: in today's saturated B2B marketplace, the stakes are high. To cut through the noise, your sales strategy needs to evolve. It needs to become more sophisticated, more nuanced, and fundamentally more personal. That's where client persona-based cold call scripting comes into play. With this strategy in your arsenal, you're setting up for targeted, effective, and efficient sales calls that truly speak to the people you're trying to reach. Let's dive into step 1. Identify your client personas. The first step in developing cold call scripts that hit home is to understand who's on the other end of the line. This isn't about guessing. It's about doing your homework to segment your market and get crystal clear on the unique types of decision makers within companies employing 20 to 100 people. Begin with what you know. Look back at your past sales wins. Who were the clients that said yes? Can you spot any patterns in who they were or what their businesses needed? These commonalities are gold dust. They help you draw up a sketch of the real people behind the titles, who we'll call your client personas. Creating these personas isn't an exercise in creative writing, though. Rely on solid data. If most of your clients from companies of this size tend to be operations managers grappling with efficiency, that's a persona. If another common group includes IT heads focused on cybersecurity, that's another one. Nail down those details. Job titles matter, but so do the problems they face, the industry-specific language they use, and the solutions they typically seek. Detail is your ally here. The more you know about these personas, the more vividly you can picture them. And not just in broad strokes. Understand specifics, their daily work challenges, their professional aspirations, and even personal attitudes towards vendors and cold calls. This intel isn't just busy work. It will directly feed into the language and tone of your scripts, making them speak personally to the problems these personas face. And don't stop at professional characteristics. Fold in personal details where relevant. Are they innovators, risk-averse, time-strapped? Go beyond demographics to psychographics. What motivates them? These insights will shape how you craft messages that resonate on a deeper level. Building a clear client persona takes time, but it's worth every minute. After all, each call your team makes is a shot at connecting. Wouldn't you prefer those shots to be as targeted as possible? With well-researched personas, your scripts will be tailored to hit the mark, increasing the odds of turning cold calls into warm leads and, eventually, satisfied clients. Now that you've got your client personas in place, it's time to tackle step 2, craft persona-based scripts. It's now about turning those detailed personas into dynamic, effective script versions. You aren't writing a script for just anyone. You're writing for the operations manager who's all about efficiency, or the IT head zooming in on security issues. Each script should feel like it's speaking directly to them because, well, it is. First, determine the value proposition of your product or service that aligns with each persona. What exactly can you offer the risk-averse CFO that will make their ears perk up? How can you ease the pain points of the overworked HR director? Your script should quickly and clearly answer the "what's in it for me" question from their perspective. Next, weave in the language and phrases that resonate with that persona. This isn't about using buzzwords or tech jargon for the sake of it. It's about speaking their language. If they talk about streamlining operations or leveraging analytics, so do you. Matching your vocabulary with theirs builds rapport and credibility. Then it's not just about what you say, but how you say it. Make sure the tone is conversational and matches their expected level of formality. An IT specialist might appreciate direct and data-driven language, while a marketing director might respond better to a more creative and enthusiastic pitch. As you draft, remember that objections are par for the course. They're not roadblocks, they're opportunities. Prepare responses to common hesitations in advance. Think of these as the what-ifs that match each persona. For instance, if the persona is budget-conscious, have a savvy answer ready for when they question costs. Crafting these scripts is both art and science. It's taking everything you know about your personas and translating it into a script that sounds like a natural conversation, not a sales monologue. It's practice, too. Write, tweak, and practice some more until the words feel right. But remember, your script is just a starting point, a roadmap for the conversation. Encourage your sales team to use it as a guide, not a verbatim script. The goal is to have a real, human conversation, not deliver a monologue. That's what resonates, what builds relationships, and ultimately, what sells. With your persona-based scripts in hand, it's time to put them to the test. Step 3. Test and refine is where the rubber meets the road. Start by rolling out your new scripts in small, controlled batches. Think of it as a test drive. You wouldn't buy a fleet of cars without knowing they can go the distance. Similarly, you shouldn't fully commit to a set of scripts without seeing how they perform in the real world. Keep your eyes on the key metrics that matter most. How many calls lead to a second conversation? How often are your calls resulting in a firm no? Or better yet, a yes? The numbers don't lie. They'll tell you if your persona-based approach is hitting the mark or if it needs a tune-up. Gather feedback, both from your clients and your sales team. Your team members are your eyes and ears on the ground. They know firsthand what's working and what's falling flat. Are certain parts of the script consistently leading to dead ends? Is there a certain turn of phrase that's opening doors? This kind of intel is priceless. Take this feedback and iterate. A script isn't set in stone. It's a living document that should evolve as you learn what resonates with your clients and what doesn't. This is a continuous process. Markets change, people change, and your script should keep pace. Testing and refining should be integral parts of your sales strategy. Think of them as a cycle that keeps spinning, propelling your sales efforts forward. There's always room to improve, to fine-tune, to hone your approach. Embrace this step as much as the initial creation, and your sales scripts will be dynamic tools that grow more effective over time. This step is about commitment, not just to a set of scripts, but to an ongoing process of refinement that ensures your sales conversations are as effective and targeted as they can be. It ensures that the voice on the phone becomes one your potential clients look forward to hearing. In summary, tapping into the power of client personas to guide your cold call scripting is more than a technique. It's a transformation in how you approach potential clients. It's about moving from a scattergun method of sales calls to a precision-targeted strategy that speaks directly to the person on the other end of the line. Remember, well-crafted personas are the bedrock of this strategy. They're not just profiles. They're the blueprint for making a genuine connection with your potential client. And when you've taken the time to really dial into those details, the scripts you develop won't just be scripts. They'll be conversation starters, relationship builders, and deal closers. From there, crafting those scripts is about aligning your message with the mentality of each persona. This alignment of value propositions, language, tone, and responses to potential pushbacks turns a cold call into a warm engagement. It's not about selling at this point, it's about solving problems for your potential clients. Testing and refining those scripts is what turns a good strategy into a great one. It keeps your messages fresh, relevant, and effective, even as markets shift and new trends emerge. This isn't a one-and-done deal. It's an ongoing commitment to excellence in communication that pays off in terms of more successful calls. By viewing each call as an opportunity to learn and each persona as a real person with unique needs, you're no longer just selling a product or service. You're offering a solution, and you're building a lasting business relationship. And that's what turns a simple sales call into a successful sales strategy. Take these steps, refine them regularly, and watch as your conversion rates and sales figures reflect the care and precision you've put into them.